This is a summary of the 9th episode of Miss Night and Day. Mi-jin leans in to give Ji-young a kiss, but he resists her advances since he thinks she's going to give him a headbutt again. Shocked, she bolts outside. Later on in the evening, Ji-young is awkwardly encountered by Mi-jin and De-young in the convenience shop. After apologizing, Mi-jin walks away without paying him any attention. When Ji-young is left on his own, he discovers the wife of director Baek Chol-kyu's post-mortem report, which states that fentanyl was discovered in her blood. Baek Chol-kyu, though, was acquitted. He looks at the locations of the killings again on the map and remembers that the victim's blood contained traces of fentanyl in the severed foot. Ji-young comes to the conclusion that the recent homicide may have been an accident, which explains why the murderer may have dumped the body close by. He then calculates that the likelihood of the body being discovered in the adjacent reservoir is high. The following day, Ju Byung-duk is astonished to see Lim Sun and Ko Won acting strangely close to one another, comically mistaking that they might be dating, while Lim Sun is obviously annoyed with Ji-young. Subsequently, Ko Won gets an anonymous letter at the office accusing one of the senior interns of fabricating their identity. He discards the letter, assuming it is about Lim Sun. Ji-young, in the meantime, requests that the police re-examine the reservoir for the victim. The reservoir had previously been examined by the police, but the operation was abandoned because the water was too deep and no evidence was found. Later that day, Mi-jin joins Ji-young and Byung-duk at a well-known restaurant while she waits for De-young to join her. The four share drinks awkwardly. When it comes up that Ko Won is too good to resist, people ask Mi-jin what she would do if Ko Won asked her out. She responds subtly that she likes Ji-young, and on the way home in the taxi, she confirms this. The victim, Ko Na-hyun, is discovered to have a decomposed body floating in the reservoir after a few days. Additionally, it is revealed that Ji-young's mother vanished and that her body was never located. Although the authorities were unable to locate his mother, the little Ji-young would sit in the station. Meanwhile, rumors about the police's incapacity to locate the body for more than a month start to circulate. Baek Chol-kyu speaks with the head of forensics in another place, maybe to change the victim's autopsy report. Lim Sun is also informed about Ko Na-hyun, and he briefly pursues Baek Chol-kyu while jotting down his car number. She panics and tells Byung-duk that his car number was included on the list of suspects for the murder, but he and Ji-young already know. Insufficient evidence prevents them from detaining Baek Chol-kyu. The forensics doctor informs Ji-young that the victim's death was due to drowning, not to any unusual circumstances. Additionally, they discovered mild fentanyl residues in his blood, which further links Baek Chol-kyu, a medical professional, to the crime. Meanwhile, the higher-ups turned down Ji-young's request for a search and seizure of the Hwadong Medical Center. At that point, Ji-young and the group make the decision to act alone. While Ji-young and Byung-duk gather evidence against Baek Chol-kyu, Lim Sun poses as a patient. As they are drawing blood for a test, Baek Chol-kyu discovers that Lim Sun is in the hospital and rushes to see her. While this is going on, Lim Sun manages to get away and, with Baek Chol-kyu pursuing her closely, heads to his office to gather proof. Lim Sun ducks into one of the closets as Baek Chol-kyu walks into his office. The results of Lim Sun's blood test are delivered to Baek Chol-kyu just as she is about to be found. But he notices that her blood test is different now than it was 20 years ago, and he starts to question about Lim Sun's true identity. The review of the episode. After discussing the synopsis of Miss Night and